Hello, welcome back to Inaudible, the podcast that's impossible to listen to and is this week a musical.
And impossible to start half the time.
It's very, very much impossible at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Due to the new ways of doing things. We are live, twitch.tv/Invisible Tower.
Oh,
I'm streaming
live
there
and
practically
in
every
kicking.
weekday evening now, so check it out if you haven't already.
Yeah, different reasons. That's the best way to get your audience, though. If you're streaming every day, then
That's exactly why I'm doing it.
constant engagement.
Yeah, the constant gardener.
Yeah. And I'm the sidekick of your channel, pretty much. So I'm there 50% of the time.
50% of the time you're there every time.
Every time, yeah.
So,
Inaudible.
we mentioned, we were just, before we went live, we were saying it's the end of the week, and I was about to get into a whole thank God spiel, but I thought I'll save it for the...
You save the rants for other people.
Yeah, well, no, I'll save it for when we're live.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
So basically, all week at work, I monitor live automated processes, and all week, for some reason, half of them have just decided they don't want to save documents properly. So you've got to like actually keep an eye on them all day, like literally just sit watching them until they finish and clicking on the thing when it pops up and all that rubbish and bloody bloody blah. And today, finally, Friday, everything seemed to be working. Process number 38 was fixed, as I'm sure you'll be glad to hear. So it was saving documents.
Wow.
You know, 81A and B were behaving themselves. All good, all good. All of a sudden, oh, you'll never guess what. Process 86 bloody stopped working, didn't it?
Yeah.
There we
go. Oh, that process.
Fucking process 86. And basically, it was creating receipts on the system, and it was just freezing when it got to a certain point.
Okay.
And just breaking completely. And I couldn't figure out what the hell to do with it. I emailed the team in charge of the process to say, what's going on with this? Is the system changed? There's something wrong with the data? Can you have a look? Because they're the experts on the actual process. And they just didn't get back.
To see if it fucks up.
Yeah, they just didn't get back to me all day, basically.
Oh.
Until, I don't know, about like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, like 5 minutes before you're due to end. Like,
yeah, and they basically said, oh. Which you find a lot. They own the process and they know how it works. You get this with all the different processes, but because we're running the robots, they expect us to know everything about the process. But anyway,
useful.
So at that point, our developers gone home, and these things need to be loaded every day. So I was like, I'm too nice. I can't just leave it for people to pick up the pieces on Monday or whatever. So I'm like, right, I've got to figure out what's wrong with this. So I spent ages looking through the code of the process, thinking, oh, this bit randomly opens this window. Maybe that's causing an issue. Testing it step by step. This has popped up. That might be breaking it. Kept on changing things, testing it, didn't work. Change something, test it, didn't work. Change something, test it, didn't work. Eventually, I'm like almost at my wit's end, testing the last thing, thinking, if this don't work, I don't know what to do. And then it freezes. It always freezes at the same point when it's putting in the date of the receipt, right? And it freezes, and I'm just about to kill the process when I look at it and I go, wait a minute, that says 13th of January 2022, which is a year ago.
So is it freezing because it's mismatching the date sort of thing? It's
like, it was literally that. It should have just been 23.
Like,
and
wait, this isn't the right date. Error. It basically like Doctor the Cyberman sort of thing.
Yeah, and I
delogicked it.
So bear in mind, this error first started popping up at about midday, right? Yeah. And all I literally had to do to fix it was to look at the data in the database and say, oh, that says 2020, or on the screen in front of me. That's not this year. And do you know what time I noticed that, Ozzy? 5:30 in the evening.
But you also messaged the people in charge, and they said they didn't know the problem.
Yeah.
So obviously they've just not even looked at it.
Yeah.
They've just seen your email and been like, don't know.
That's a very good point, because I did get to email back the person that told me he didn't know what was the problem to tell him that he'd put the date a year out. And that's what I'd broken it. But I was just like, oh my God, like poring over this fucking code trying to figure it out, because I'm not a developer. I don't really I could figure things out, but I don't know it intimately. And I could have just figured it out 5 hours ago just by looking at it and
Yeah.
understanding what a number was. So I was very glad to see the end of this week after that. And you know what?
To be fair,
Yesterday,
it's something I probably would have bypassed myself as well.
yeah,
You just
well,
don't think. You look and you just see.
Yeah.
There's the date. You don't read the date.
Yeah.
You just think date, such and such part, such and such part.
and that's it as well. Is it because it said 13th of January still? And even when I was testing, I was like, right, does it work if I put it in manually? 13 Jan 2023. Yes, that works, no problem. But for some reason, it breaks when the process does it, because it's a different fucking date. Oh. And then yesterday we had the big wind, the great wind of 23.
Oh, yeah.
The big storm.
The big storm. Not quite the big storm. It's more of the great storm.
No.
You're thinking of the big storm of 1990.
No. That was the great gust. The great storm was in 2015.
I think you're thinking of the great blow. Oh no, wait, that was my Friday night.
Oh, good stuff.
I'm glad you knew what I was going with.
Yeah. So
very few people would past our age range, probably.
yeah. So obviously I heard it all in the morning. Sort of, it was like really loud wind and loud rain and everything like that. And part way through the morning, I heard like, you hear people. We sit at home all day. You hear like workmen doing work all in the streets around you and everything. And I heard what sounded like someone cutting. Like moving loads of tree branches, like they'd been cutting them. And I thought, I didn't hear anyone cutting any trees, and why are they doing it in winter? That doesn't make any sense from a horticultural perspective. And then hour or so later, I went out to my bedroom and discovered that the tree by the side of the flat had fallen over.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, which it's looked really ill for a couple of years, like it doesn't grow new leaves properly, so I reckon it must have just been like rotten or something.
Yeah.
It's blown right over against the side of the block of flats. So today I had my hand out the window snapping branches off to stop them scratching the window.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Luckily it didn't come through the window. It's slightly below it.
Evil Dead!
Oh my god!
They're attacking.
I'd have to sleep with my legs crossed.
I was going to say, watch your back tonight, or watch your ass more like.
Yeah, there's that bit I'm worried about.
You don't mind if the tree gives you a little bit of a feel up, as long as it doesn't enter anywhere.
I don't want anything too invasive, shall we say. Little plays, right? Bark's worse than this bite anyway.
Yeah, it'd be a bit rough. I can't think of any puns, but just thinking of the texture of bark going in is not quite pleasant.
We'll have to leave that thought there.
Oh.
I wouldn't like to experience that.
Willow, you just get on with the rest of the podcast.
Okay. Good lord. So yeah, that's a shame because it's quite nice because it's like directly outside my window.
Can you?
What's that? Sorry.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
Yeah. Oh, fuck, no, sorry. Trees.
No. You just got to think of professor names from.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about birching, but that's like it's not relevant. I don't want to Smith Birch's good names. That work now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that tree being not far outside my window was nice to sometimes if I was like sat on the bed, sometimes I just sit there because it's somewhere nice to sit. You could see all the birds in the tree and everything, but not anymore because the tree is now beneath the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You've lost part of your like enjoyment of the window.
Yeah, exactly.
The view.
Oh well.
The property value of the block of flats has gone down.
I'll always have the tree out the back.
Okay.
I hope this means that the council then doesn't decide that all the trees around, because the trees like the flats kind of surrounded by trees. I hope they don't decide that they're all unsafe or something, because they're not. The other ones are fine. They're very healthy. But, That'll be when I'll
And
get my
good for privacy.
my complaining voice on if they start talking about that.
No, the wind has been a pain in the ass. So that's been be leaving like 5-10 minutes earlier every day.
Oh shit!
just because,
Yeah,
well, not just walking in it, I can't skate in it.
yeah.
So
That's
I think I take rain over wind. Wind is just it's my greatest natural enemy of all
So,
weather
are you a grass
things. I
type?
hate. Maybe,
Like an oddish?
yeah, maybe. Because it slows me down. I don't like traveling as it is, so anything that makes my journey longer is a pain in the ass. And with me, irritable bowel, the wind blows against my shirt or my jumper or whatever and pushes it
Yeah.
into my stomach and causes cramping. So I'm constantly
The
having
crumbles.
to do me shirt tugging action.
Is that what's on? It's going to be on your new action figure, that isn't it? It's got
Yeah, new
genuine,
with shirt tugging action.
genuine shirt tugging action. With all the accessories,
Yeah.
which we won't go into.
Oh dear. Could pay £50 for the TARDIS bedroom play set.
Oh yeah, yeah. Does it like unfold so you can
Yeah.
have a little
Little Aussie, little Christian doing little reactions in front
like
of a little TV.
where's the keyboard gone? Look for the keyboard.
Oh god, if we had the budget now, I wish we could have the budget to mock up like action figures of me
Yeah.
and you and a little TARDIS set. And then we'd film a cheesy 80s, 90s commercial for it, where we've got our hands in shot and we're doing the voices. And
Yeah,
they're like,
definitely.
wow, I can't believe that just happened. Oh, I don't know, Ozzy. If it was this way, it would have been a bit better.
Yeah.
Now with new voices. Oh no. Arigato.
Yes, I would love a cup of tea, thank you.
At least free.
Yeah, yes, it would just be catchphrases, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, I always love the idea of like if we were internet famous of doing like
If we
really
were, yeah.
bizarre like merch like that, like
Merchandise.
maybe only sort of
Yeah.
like once a year or something. But yeah, little
Yeah,
action
you'd have like
figures
the
are a great idea.
normal t-shirts, but then like maybe on like the anniversary of the channel or whatever, you'd always have that like month of doing something a little bit weird,
Yeah.
maybe.
Around Christmas, I think would be the
Or maybe
the
that
one,
would,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Gifts.
Everyone's got the money. Everyone's
Yeah.
got the money.
Because I always thought I don't know why, but
Like,
I've always
it'd be a DVD, but all that's on it is us talking to the camera for 5 minutes about a subject no one else cares about.
well, actually, that's another thing. The podcast, what they called Hello Internet, did an episode that they released on vinyl once, like an exclusive episode. Like that's quite cool, and they did one on wax cylinder once as well.
Oh yeah, so we'd like release our first ever episode, but on DVD or something for people to get, or or on CD, vinyl, or whatever. Yeah.
No, what I was going to say was, and I don't know why this is, but I've always really loved the idea of doing a commemorative tea towel.
like coffee mugs and teacups and the tea kettle. Not a kettle, but teapot.
Teapot, yeah. Teapot, kettle, black. Yeah, you want the tea towel? I've always thought it'd be quite funny to do like an annual as well. Just with like, because they used to get like the football annual that would have like, you know, how the teams have done in the season. So we could fill it with like, you know, scripts of things we've written or like facts about stuff that's happened throughout the year. And then in the back just have like all
the Doctor Who annuals and stuff. Yeah.
In the back just have like all the stats of all the videos released that year or something, just because that's the kind of shit that would be at the back of annuals.
Yeah. Oh, a top trump set.
Oh yes, that would be a good one.
Ranking all our different skills and stuff.
It'd be quite a small top trump set. We'd have to use like characters from games we've played and things like that.
Yeah, like or versions of us from the games.
From the multiverse.
So like you could have a top trump of me and you with Dave from Digimon World.
Yeah.
And the stats would more represent Dave over us because we're just like part of the imagery and
Yeah.
the.
Like, we could have Zayer from
Like
from
even
Digimon.
yeah. Oh, even if we don't get internet famous, I think we should one day try and work on like
Should
a
try
Donald
and just
Trump
figure that
setup.
out. Yeah.
All that we need to like think of all the characters between us and then compile them together, and then we need to think of what sort of stats we're going to have, and then we need to work on the stats.
Yes. Oh man! So if anyone listening would like to buy, t-shirts, mugs, commemorative tea towel, top trumps, vinyls, let us know.
I don't know if you would have cut out on the podcast, but you cut out for me slightly. If it wasn't for the podcast, then don't worry about repeating. Do you know what I mean?
Basically, all the shit we've just spoke about. If anyone wants any of that, let us know. And like, if we get maybe more than 10 people asking, it might be worth looking into.
Yeah. Like we could like by commission or something.
Yeah.
Like if 10 people say they want this thing, then we'll make 10 of this thing for those 10. Or essentially, like
t-shirts are quite easy because I think with sites like Teespring and what have you literally just have to make the design and submit it, and then they'll only print it when someone orders it.
With the same concept, you'd assume tea towels would be as well.
Yeah, if they do them. I don't know if they really exist anymore. I feel like my idea of collector's items are all from the 80s, and I don't really know why.
Because we were born at the like death of the 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s had died, and we're still sort of struggling to die in the 90s. We're just we're very early 90s, so
we fed on its corpse.
Had a lot. Yeah. We were born after the 80s died, but the rotting corpse was still there, lingering.
Yeah.
So we fed on that for a couple of years, and still got like the leftovers of the 80s. Yeah.
Because the other thing is like used to get like those fucking commemorative plates as well.
Yeah.
That would just have like, a picture of the Queen on it for her Silver Jubilee or something.
Someone would stick up on their shelf behind a glass.
Yeah. You
Glass
could have
cabinet.
like Captain Cabinet, trapped in cabinet.
Yeah.
You could have like,
Will she get out? Can she get out? She's the Queen, though, bloody
hell. Celebrating 1,000 subs or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I hit 500 recently, but it does seem to be fluctuating over the past month or so, or past month or two. So it was 499, then it hit 500, then it went to 501, but then over like a month it dropped back down to 499.
Ooh.
But now I think it's somehow gone back up to like 500 or 501.
Okay.
I don't know.
At least I guess
I did have a comment asking why the fuck why the hell aren't you sat down whilst reacting?
I sometimes wonder that myself, if I'm honest.
We're at a TARDIS console.
Yeah.
It's how many reactors out there can you say do their reactions from behind a TARDIS? It's I know it's a bit of a pain.
I will say the reason is because sitting down is much more comfortable for most people. But
I know. Well, like we do have the Alex chair. You're always welcome to it.
The Alex Memorial chair, thank you.
But the Alex Memorial chair.
Don't besmirch his memory like that, or Smibirch.
Smibirch. Oh, don't you start that again?
Oh God.
No. Oh God, he's looking at trees.
I'll be on this train of thought for a while. Thought that one myself. I'm looking up older different types of trees.
Mm.
So don't ask me what I'm doing. I spent a lot of time on this, but life's a beach. So don't smibirch my good name. There we are. Let's go down the list.
You're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well.
I see there are a lot of different types of trees, but I am cherry picking them a little bit. There's chestnut enough of them for me to use. Do you know what? I'm not beating that. I'm going to leave it there.
That was actually pretty good, I will admit. I'm not. At first, I was regretting what I had done by starting it off again. But then as you went on, I was like, no, actually, this is pretty good.
It's a roller coaster of emotion. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. So actually, I got one other thing that's happened this week. Just a bit of an amuse, not an amuse bouche, but an amuse oreille.
Yeah.
So I've had 3 things delivered over the past 2 weeks from, where are they? FedEx, I think. Yeah, FedEx.
Yeah. I always remember, like, for some reason, I remember it because of Cheaper by the Dozen, the film. Because I can't remember what the reasoning was, but one of the characters, for some reason, the rest of the family called them FedEx.
Oh.
And I don't remember why.
Oh, it was delivered?
Or maybe it was because they were delivered. They're not part of the family or something. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
That sounds more along the. It was out of bullying.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
Yeah. So
your Federation Extreme.
They do think, like, I had the tabs open of like the tracking numbers, and I was obsessively refresh it once it's delivered just to make sure it says it's delivered. So I make sure I'm thinking about the right thing, you know. And it says who signed for it. Now I don't sign my full name on the funny little pad thing. I just do KD, or sometimes it just comes out as like a lightning bolt, but that doesn't really matter. You've got to make a mark on it, haven't you? Sometimes I literally just do an X. But it on the website it tells you who signed for it, and I think they have to type that in themselves. Now, long-term viewers of the channels may be familiar with Critty and Dinton, my evil alter ego.
Oh dear. Yeah. Why did they write Critty and...
I've got a few more.
Oh Jesus, okay.
So there's the first one ain't too bad. K Dainton, just with 2 T's.
Okay.
You can see how that's happened. It's fine. Next one, El Diaton.
Oh, El Diaton, fighting evil in the desert stands. El Diaton.
Unfortunately, it's a plain old English L.
Oh.
Not the sexy Spanish L.
Oh.
Again, weird, but you can see how that happened. K's next to L on the keyboard. They've swapped the A and the I around. They've missed out an N. They're in a hurry. I'll let them off.
Yeah.
Now the final one's my favourite. I want you now to refer to me as N. Inton.
Ennington.
N. Inton. Or Ninton. All in one go.
Ninton.
Because that one, I mean...
It would sound like not racially aware character from EastEnders back in the 80s. Like, back before everyone was woke, and, like, they weren't quite good at, like, writing people of, like, African or something. It's
yeah,
like,
that's my question, is what ethnicity is this?
Nindon. It sound, I don't know.
It's probably best not to.
Yeah.
Inton. Yeah.
Nindon.
Okay, I'm with you.
That's kind of the accent I go with, maybe. So maybe is that Italian? I don't know what even accent I'm doing.
Jar Jar Binks?
Oh, Nindon.
Inton, usa da bomba.
Mi dani some Binks.
But yeah, that one, N isn't next to K on the keyboard. They've somehow replaced a D-A-I with just 2 E's. I don't know how that happened.
Wow.
So I always do that whenever you see something.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, fuck it. And then they just clumped their hand down on the keyboard. Yeah.
The fingers you have used to dial are too fat. To obtain a special dialing wand, please mash the keypad with your palm now. I always think that whenever you see, like, Simpsons, when Homer's fat.
Yeah. No, that's what I said. I got that reference.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said, what's that reference?
Oh, no, sorry. Because it's a 50-50 chance as to whether I'll get your Simpsons references. So it was like, oh, I got that one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, whenever people, they type something that just doesn't make any sense, or you think, oh, why did they type that? I always think, I look at my keyboard first to be like, now, how have they done this? Because we've all done it. sometimes if your fingers are like one key over on the keyboard, you can just get every single letter wrong without realizing.
Yeah.
And if you're in a hurry, you said, like, remember when there was this big hoo-ha? I mean, there's plenty to criticize Trump for, Donald Trump. But he tweeted something once that didn't make any sense that had the word "kofefe" in it.
Oh, okay.
And everyone was making a big deal of it, but I can't remember what it was now exactly. But when you read the whole tweet in context and thought about what he might have been trying to say, and then look at your keyboard, you can actually see quite easily how he's just accidentally moved one key over to the left, sort of thing.
But I'm not the fastest of typers, so if I'm trying to type quite quickly because I'm trying to rush what I'm trying to say or something, I definitely misclick.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Mispoke.
If like, that's why it will take me a good 5-10 minutes to just write one sentence in some kind of like message or reply or something, because I'm like actually having to type it, and then I'll look back over it to double check everything, and then I'll correct myself, and then
remove all the swear words and the insults.
All the cunts and fuckers, all the yo mamas and.
I've actually got some really big news about my mum. I don't know if it's public knowledge yet.
Yo mama.
So I'm not going to say it. I'll save it till next week. I've asked her if I can tell people yet.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna. Well,
Do you know it? Because if you know it, then I'll say it.
No, I don't. But like, from the tone-age, I've got theories now.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave.
One of them is very unlikely. I can't see her being pregnant.
That's where you're wrong. I'm afraid a tree got her. No. Sorry, man. That was really bad.
No. Sorry. You misspoke. They're pronounced Thai.
Oh yes. My mistake. Let's not get to trees again. Fuck me.
Apologies. Yeah. Or something big in the relationship, which could be quite obvious.
Yes.
With tonalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's out there, which is why I brought it up at all. But I'm gonna deliberately not say it just in case.
You won't say it for the liveness, but I think I can kind of guess.
Yes.
I'm 80-90% on it.
Yeah.
No. Oh, fair play.
Which is pretty. Yeah. I mean,
what makes me think it might not be completely out there is the fact that my mum hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
And normally she'd have probably mentioned something to me because she'd have heard off of your mum.
Yes.
So.
Well, if I wasn't supposed to tell anyone, my excuse is that I'm quite excited for her.
Of course, fair play, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, any discussions about that we can do when it's out in the open.
Yes. So, whilst we've been talking about
your mum.
My name.
Mum. Oh, your name. She did give you it.
She did. It was her first choice was Luke, but my dad vetoed it because he didn't want it. He wanted to call me Carl, which is his name.
Oh. So they went for the in between.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how I ended up with Christian off the back of that, but there we are.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, actually, this came up briefly when we were all at our friend of the podcast Tilly's house a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
Not the thing I was going to say, just something else that I've thought of.
Oh.
Which I did. I don't know if you know this. Talking about my name. Did you know that the name I use is not the name on my birth certificate? I have changed my name at some point in my life.
I think it's one of those things I think I've heard a couple of times, but I don't retain the information until you bring it back up.
Because
my brain just instinctively goes to the name you got as your current last name.
Yes, and that's it.
But anytime you mention it to someone else, it kind of reminds me, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit. Because I did know that,
because my surname was changed from my dad's surname to my mum's surname.
Yeah,
and it I generally don't really think about it because I've had this surname
Never
since
used
I was
it,
about 4 or something. So like it's
That's what. As long as I've known you, it's pretty
Yeah.
much been the one you've used. So
Yeah.
it's not really. Whereas with Alex, when he went through name changes, I'd known him for years before he'd changed his
Yeah.
name. So it was suddenly like it was a transition. I had to remember it and stuff. It was a transition.
It's one of those things that like it was quite funny how it's you'd think it would be quite a big detail about my life, but it was like when the other guys were talking about name changes the other week, like it reminded me like, oh yeah, shit, my name's changed. Like I just don't really.
It took you a moment, and then it was just sort of like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like when people ask me if I've got any brothers or sisters, and I'm like, no. And then after a second, I go, oh wait, yeah, I do. I forgot. And they look at me like I'm mad. half brother, half sister.
Yeah. Easy.
But no, the thing I was going to say first was
Still on names.
still on names.
Okay.
It's still actually about my surname. It's quite an unusual surname.
Quite an unusual first name, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
With a
yeah.
K.
Well, in this country, anyway.
Yeah.
This fucking country. And
I don't
even
know
more
about other
unusual
countries,
is that
but
my
I just
mum.
mean with a K.
Yeah, but even more unusual is the where my mum first heard that name wasn't like in fucking Norway or Slovakia or somewhere. It was Mexico, where they don't spell it with a K there either, generally.
Oh.
Yeah. She lived over there for a bit and knew someone with that name.
Oh. Okay.
So, so the last name thing, when my mum was back here visiting, this is like the mum podcast, all about my mum.
Oh.
We were watching This Country, the comedy, which is very, very, very good, by the way, if anyone out there hasn't seen it.
You have mentioned multi. To me, at least.
And the credits were rolling, and one of the people in the credits has my mum's surname as his first name.
Oh.
And we were like, what the hell's this all about? So...
I mean, I can see it being a first name.
So we looked it up, right? Looked him up. He's a child actor, and he is from Bristol.
Oh.
Which
so
is where we're
like
from.
A purely Bristolian name?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Or like...
He is a West Country name.
Or just by like odd passing is like his parents have somehow run into a member of your family.
Yeah.
Noticed it is the last, maybe like their grandmother or their father or something works behind a desk with like a register, and your nan or your auntie or your mum has just clocked in somewhere, checked in somewhere for the day, registered, wrote their name on the check-in sign-in sheet, and they've noticed that name over there. It's like, oh, that's a name.
Yeah.
And then it's just passed on somehow to become a first name.
My first thought was maybe my mum taught the kid's parents. That could be possible.
That is. Yeah.
It doesn't look like that was the case. But when we looked up, because I think his mum runs like some youth club or kids club, or whatever, in somewhere like it was the
Ha Club.
It was it was somewhere like Henleys or somewhere. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Quite close.
Which is in Bristol. For people won't know that if they don't live in Bristol, probably.
It's quite close to our side of Bristol as well.
Yeah.
Bristol's a decently big place.
Yes.
Where there's some parts of Bristol that are like the other side of town, a good hour and a half journey.
Yeah, which we know all about tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going there.
With us, Henleys is within a decent walking distance.
Yes.
Like I could do it within the hour.
Yeah, definitely. I got friends.
I work between here and there pretty much.
Yeah. But my mum was like, she saw this lady's picture and name, and she was like, I'm sure I've seen that name before somewhere.
Yeah.
And she did a bit of like internet sleuthing, which was really funny because it's the kind of thing I do when I can't let an idea go. And I was like, my mum does this too. That's hilarious.
I know where I've got it from, sort of thing. It's in the genes.
But she found out that this kid's mum was friends with somewhat, I can't remember. It's like one of her uncles or something, like from her dad, from my
God.
mum's dad's side of the family, with the same surname. So we were like, does she actually know our family? And that's why, not just someone with the same name, but our actual family. It's
Hey,
really
hey,
weird.
it could
We
be
were just
your
sat
way
there for
into the
like,
business.
what side do you know that? Sorry.
It could be your way into the film business.
Yeah. We were just sat there for like half an hour after, just going like, but it's so weird. Why does he have our name as his name?
Well, no, mine isn't as interesting as that, but I do know what my like alternative reality name would have been for me and Cheyenne
Oh yeah.
if say like
You're Luke.
the other say
Yeah.
like the other parent had had the choice.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't remember. I think it might have been. I can't remember which parent it was
One
exactly
of
for
yours,
my
I
name.
think.
Well, yeah, but basically, it's basically the middle names. So my middle name is Jake,
Oh.
which is what the other parent wanted as the first name.
Ah, okay.
And then I can't remember if it was because it sounds like it would be my dad who would want Ozzy, but then I know my mum was equally into
Hmm.
Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and that kind of thing. So it could have literally been either of them.
Yeah.
However, with Cheyenne, I know that it was my dad who wanted her name to be Blaze,
Ah, yeah.
as in Blaze Castle area sort of thing.
420 Blaze it.
But it is actually spelt with a Z, I think,
Oh.
rather than a
Well, you do
yeah,
see, yeah, you do see that
like
as
an
a name
odd
quite often,
yeah.
more than you'd think.
Whereas my mum chose Cheyenne after the Cheyenne Indian tribe. I don't know the exact,
I think that's
but there was a
Cheyenne, isn't it?
tribe. Cheyenne, I don't know. Well,
Anyway.
after 26, 27 years, I don't think she'll like us suddenly starting to call her Cheyenne.
Yeah. Oh my god, is this white person cultural appropriation?
Oh, God.
Oh, that reminds me about something
Yeah.
else.
I think you'll find it's Tolkien the entire time.
Yeah, yeah. South Park, that one for people at home.
Although technically there was a very early episode where he'd signed his name and written it as Token.
Yeah, yes, pure retcon, isn't it? But
Yeah.
fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah,
I don't know.
it was I forgot her name. Is it Gwen Stefani?
I don't know. She is a person.
She is a person.
Cheyenne was into her music for a long time.
Oh yeah, here
I don't
is Gwen Stefani.
probably still
Basically,
is.
I saw this headline. Also, just to cycle back around again, the name Cheyenne is actually an alternate spelling of Cheyenne, which is the name of the North American tribe. I didn't realize it was that. I didn't
Okay.
realize. I thought it was
Okay.
just a coincidence that the names were similar.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
guess my mum had heard it in something and liked it, but
Yeah.
that's the origins.
Yeah, so Gwen. Actually, before we get onto that, my middle name's
Oh.
Alexander.
Yeah.
I think I
great
would have
Chief
liked
Music.
to have had Luke or Carl as a middle name instead. There we
Okay,
are.
fair enough.
Or as a first name, if I'm perfectly honest, but there we go. Stuck with it now.
Saved a lot less confused. Well, you're not necessarily stuck with it. Look at
Well,
Alex.
I kind of am, though, at 30 years old. It's a bit weird to just turn around and say,
I
by the way,
know,
can you call me Luke?
Yeah. No, I know.
I like my initials as well. KD. I like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Gwen Stefani. Basically, I saw a headline that basically just said Gwen Stefani slammed for saying I'm Japanese because she isn't Japanese, obviously.
Yeah. No.
And it kind of sounded really.
She done well. Even then, I was gonna say she done one of these genetic test things, and she got all like big up about like,
But
oh, my great grandmother was Japanese, so that means I'm
Yeah.
Japanese. It's like when an American
yeah,
has like got Irish ancestry, so they say, oh no, I'm Irish.
I'm Irish. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's what I thought as well, but it wasn't that at all. And it really annoyed me. So like, I want to stick up for Gwen Stefani here amongst all the vitriol. Because it's just like wall-to-wall condemnation about it. But I think people just need to get a bit of a life, if I'm honest. Because basically, she was given an interview.
I'd say like if there was, like a culture of people, a country of people that I was spiritually more. I'd feel I'm spiritually Japanese, but I wouldn't say I'm Japanese. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and
Like I respect a lot of their culture more than I respect a lot of
yeah,
the stuff that goes on over here.
and I feel like
I know there's bad ends to both sides, and I wouldn't just go around saying, "Oh, I'm Japanese." I'm learning Japanese. I'm Japanese now.
yeah. It's
Is
just
that what? I
occurred to me.
don't
I'm
know.
a little bit worried about the direction this podcast is going in. I've stuck up for Trump. I've stuck
Oh
up for
dear.
someone who's some people are accusing of like cultural appropriation.
What exactly? What exactly was she said? Was she just literally saying she's Japanese?
Well,
Or?
this is the thing. She was given an interview about like her early life and influences and upbringing, and she said how she loved Japanese culture. And her exact quote, or I'm paraphrasing the quote, was she was taken on holiday to Japan when she was a young girl, and when she got there, she loved everything there so much she just went, "Oh my god, I'm Japanese and I didn't know it." That's what she said, which is clearly not her
That
actually saying she's Japanese,
no,
is it?
no,
It's her saying
no. Feels like it.
it's her
But I
saying
don't know, yeah.
it's like if someone said, "Wow, I guess I must have been Japanese and not realised." Ha 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 ha. That's what it came across as to me.
Yeah. Whereas, I guess she just worded it stupidly.
That's what I mean. I might be wrong. Maybe she's just a bloody racist, but
Yeah.
to me, like
I
it
wouldn't
was.
say I know enough about Gwen Stefani to like have known
Yeah,
any of her other interviews or whatever, and
it was just one of those things. Like
stuff
I
like
tend to
that.
read the Guardian,
Oh,
which I do like because it's generally sort of liberal and vaguely left leaning, which is I'm liberal left leaning, so it's good. It's good one for me to read. But
just like my cock.
exactly,
What?
hang to the left.
Sorry.
Um,
Sorry, I saw the joke. I couldn't help it.
It's a very good one. Yeah, but every now and then I read someone on there that's just like, fuck me, this is such a Guardian article. Like, get over it, get over yourselves. And this is one of those
Yeah.
ones where it was like the headline was like, outrage, Gwen Stefani said something culturally insensitive,
Okay.
outrage. And then you read the thing and you were like, actually, that's not what it was. Or I didn't think it was. It annoyed
You
me.
boys have been having a slow week this week, haven't you?
Yeah.
No other news? You couldn't find someone kicking a pigeon somewhere?
Well, I think it's a slow news day here because we're talking about it as well. So
Yeah. We should, yeah. Well, I think we managed to keep up the banter quite well.
yeah,
For a Justice podcast. Sometimes it can be a little bit off.
I'm just scrolling down my
I don't think I have anything to be fair.
list. I've scrolled right to the bottom because I tend to only look at the top, and so I've thought I'd go right to the bottom. And
Okay.
the thing at the bottom I have is a Wikipedia page for Ty Tennant, nay Ty Martin Moffat. I don't know why I have this.
Are they? Well, Tennant and Moffat are Doctor Who related names.
Yeah, so it's Georgia Moffat's son and David Tennant's his adopted father. Oh, that's why I remember it. The guy's 20 years old, yeah, and he adopted David Tennant's surname as a mark of respect to his adopted father.
Oh,
That's nice, isn't
okay.
it? Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah, fair play.
And I found him because he plays the young Aegon Targaryen in House of the Dragon, which is where I saw his name. And I was like, wait a minute, Tennant.
Following in his father's footsteps.
Niels.
Well, both parents' footsteps.
Yeah.
You could. Not surprising he got into acting, considering
Yeah.
the family he's in.
Oh, that's right.
He didn't just have a back door; he had every window left open. He had a big gate with a sign saying, "Walk on through, take what you want."
Yes, it's quite funny. He plays like the really spoilt brat of a prince who's like a bit of a sex feed. Like one of his scenes is him wanking out of a window because he can.
I wonder what his mum thought of that scene.
Yeah. Oh dear. I don't think he'll be playing the same guy in the next series because there'll be a time skip.
Oh,
I presume. Will there
Treasury.
actually? I don't know. Good question. We don't know. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Who cares?
John
people
John Smith VFX on YouTube. I kind of vaguely remember why I opened this. Yeah, that's right. So this guy, so his name is on YouTube is just John Smith. Is his handle? You know, YouTube have done this amazing new thing where you can uniquely identify a user with some sort of user's name. Amazing, I know.
Oh,
I'm not letting that go. His handle is John Smith VFX. Just as a little interesting thing, he did a load of sort of like mock-ups of Doctor Who VFX, just sort of like for his own amusement, like intros and, you know, this is what this villain would look like in this series and this is what this would look like cleaned up or what have you. And then he didn't upload anything for several years. And then a couple of months ago, he uploaded a video called My Doctor Who VFX Showreel. And in the description, he was like, "Hi, sorry for not uploading much, but that's because I was hired to actually do this for Doctor Who." And it's basically every effect shot in the Chibnall era has been this guy, which I think is pretty cool for just like somebody who started off doing fan videos.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Some of them could be hit and miss, I'd say, throughout the era, but
Yeah.
fair enough.
We can skip over that. I'll do a quick roundup of some of the stuff I can clear off here quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Little Inferno, the game about burning things in a fireplace that's sort of like half of a corporate commentary sort of thing, is getting a Christmas DLC several months ago, which is now out.
Oh, okay. Look out for that back then.
Yeah. I think, was it last episode I mentioned Westworld and how the seasons were going up and down in quality?
Yeah. Yeah, because you and Alex were on about Stranger Things.
Yes.
And how it also kind of did that.
So it was going to have a final season. I think it would have been season 5 or 6. Can't remember actually.
At least 3.
Yeah, 5th season it would have been. It's been cancelled. The whole series has been cancelled.
Oh. Reason or?
Let me see. It was blah 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 blah. High production costs, declining viewership, sliding critical response.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate because like it did have crap, but I do think it did get a lot better in the last couple of seasons. But I agree with the chat that it absolutely did peak in season 1. That was the best one. Yeah.
Why did it get greenlit for a 5th season if they didn't want?
Because it's a big name,
budget.
isn't it? That's how it works.
They kind of like pre-lit, greenlit.
Wow.
Sort of
I mean, I've got
provisional lit.
Yeah.
we'll pencil it in.
Yeah. So I've got the graph up on Wikipedia of the rating. So obviously it varies through the season, but I'll kind of like give you a rough average. Season 1, US viewers, 1.8 million ish per episode, right? 1.8 million. Season 2, you go down to about 1.4, 1.5.
Okay.
Season 3, 0.8 million.
Oh, okay.
Season 4, it's around 0.3 to 0.4 million.
Oh.
So the graph is like a death slide.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of like a V that just drops.
Yeah. What letter would that? I don't know. It's almost like a Japanese, like a kana letter that's just a line, diagonal line.
Someone's just tried like writing their name that started with V but only got to the end of the V and then died and screwed off the page.
Yeah, he must have died while carving it.
Oh.
The castle of...
We're dealing with a...
But yeah, I spoke loads about Westworld in the last one. In summary, great, crap, better, about the same, in my opinion, in terms of seasons.
It's an American season, so it's got like 50 odd episodes per series, hasn't it?
Not one of these, because they're like hour-long episodes, big budget, so it's about 10 episodes normally.
Okay. I was gonna say, I think that's why I don't get into a lot of like big series, because I look at the list of, or the number of episodes, and I'm like, I haven't got time to dedicate to 24, 25 episodes. I do enough of that for my reactions, and even then I can't edit that shit in my own time.
So another thing from my big old list. So basically, this list, just to explain for anyone who's
Christian's big old bitty list.
big old list. Anyone who's new here, but we basically just kind of did like maybe 0.6 to 1 podcasts a month for several months. So I
list has grown.
yeah, I ended up with a lot of things to talk about, which I've ignored a lot of them as well because they weren't important.
When we were all sad losers, we used to do this guaranteed every Friday, and we all started going out once a month. So it became 3 Fridays out of 4.
And then it was.
But we had Christmas and stuff.
Yeah,
so a lot.
Midwinter. I honestly wish we hibernated because, like, as a species, because midwinter, I cannot do anything. I don't want to know anyone or do anything. So actually, I did want to like apologize to everyone for just being such a fucking grump. I feel like I'm really antisocial midwinter, but fuck it, it's what I'm like. So the another thing was there was a computer video game.
One of these Nintendo games.
One of those Nintendos, yeah.
One of those Nintendos.
About
I have one.
It's about when they
My
go.
granddad had them, I think.
It's about when they go in the cars and they go really fast.
They go from rooms.
But it's
Is
the
it one with
American.
crashed cars or one with stealing cars? Or just pure racing cars.
It's all legal.
Oh, okay.
But it's the American one where they just go round and round in a circle for 30 hours.
Oh, okay.
NASCAR. I'm talking about NASCAR. I don't know how long they go for. I'm just being dismissive because it's American.
It's American.
It's what you have to do when you're British, so they take away your passport.
Yeah.
So basically, in one of these games, right, back in the day, because of the way the game engine was built, if you were right up by the wall on the outside of the track, you could just hug the wall and go really fast, and then basically as you hit the corner you would just shoot around the corner because you'd be up against the wall.
Okay.
So basically a couple of months ago someone actually did that in real life, which is just quite cool. So it's one of those things you can only really do.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah, you can only really do it once, can't you? Because in real life, of course, it absolutely destroys the side of your car.
Your car, yeah.
But yeah, you got up to second or whatever.
If you know it's going to sort of clinch you that at least sort of second victory sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're going to be in the top 3 rather than the top 10.
Yeah. It's
a very like Disney Pixar type maneuver.
It's the pure audacity of it. I love it.
Fair play.
But yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning because it's pretty cool. Well, that's all I've got on my. Well, for now anyway. There's more on there, but I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah.
I will just give a shout out to Lidl own brand Irish cream liqueur. Basically own brand Baileys.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're drinking at the moment?
That's what I'm on at the moment, yes. So I thought I'd give a shout out to that. It's very nice.
Just got squash. We're drinking tomorrow.
Squash liqueur.
Yeah.
Is it like... can you get, like... Does it work? I know it works with, like, actual fruit, but can you leave, like, squash out on a sunny windowsill for a week and it ferments?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I guess actual juice probably would.
I think it would just grow mold.
Yeah. I always remember... my nan's
gathering from half of the cups I've left in my bedroom, it would just grow mold.
His name was Albert.
I was breeding up mold.
I remember once being at my nan's when I was a kid and pouring out some orange juice from the... Did I say fridge or kid? I was at my nan's when I was a kid and pouring out some orange juice from the fridge. I was at my nan's when I was a fridge and I poured out some orange juice from the kid. She had one of these...
I don't know. I instinctively heard the correct thing, but if you did get it wrong...
She had one of those genetically engineered goats that you could, like, squeeze orange juice out of its teats.
From the kid. Okay, I get you, yeah.
Actually, it would be a child goat, wouldn't it? Abort. And I always remember the orange juice coming out with green lumps in it once because it just hadn't been used for months. Yeah. And that was in the fridge.
So I guess if it's like, if your nan doesn't drink orange juice,
That's what it
but
was,
you
yeah.
do, and she only ever bought it for you, and you haven't gone over there in like a month or two.
Wow, that was good. Yeah.
Surprised myself. Now I need to lie down.
Yeah, because I remember at uni once, I could just put a banana down on the windowsill once and just kind of forgot about it and didn't eat it for a while. And then when I did eat it, it did taste of alcohol.
Oh,
It
you
literally
got
it
drunk
fermented.
off bananas. Yeah.
I think it's pretty much
Right,
anything with sugar in you can ferment, can't you?
I don't know. I'm not a brewer.
Because like even potatoes, 'cause obviously they make vodka out of potatoes. You don't think of potatoes as sugary, but they have polysaccharides. We're getting technical. Like a
You lost
saccharide.
me after potato.
You basically there's like a sugar molecule, right? And if it's just one sugar molecule on its own, it's really sweet. If it's two sugar molecules joined together, it's quite sweet. If it's a long string of sugar molecules, it's not sweet until you chew it for a week.
Okay, the
And that's
more molecules you've got, the less sweet it is,
yeah.
basically.
So if you chew a potato for a week, it tastes sweet. But obviously, no one's done that because they would die from lack of sleep.
Yeah.
But I always remember that. Excuse me. I always remember this about sugars because of this amazing biology teacher I had in year 9 called Mr. Pattinson. Correction, Patterson. No N. Well, actually, one N at the end, but no N in the middle, just one N where it should be. Who was just this absolutely mad Scottish bloke who used to do ridiculous things like try and get around the classroom without touching the floor and all that sort of stuff.
Just like on the tables and stuff.
Yeah. He must have had a
I mean,
great time at
I see
work.
myself doing.
Yeah. But I always remember this thing he just kept on repeating: monoglufru, disumal, and polystarsa. Okay, we should be back now. Sorry about that. There seems to be an issue with this OBS scene collection. This happened last week. It cut out, and I don't really know why it's happened. I was testing it earlier as well because it crashed earlier when I was fiddling around with the sound, and I thought maybe that's what did it.
Yeah.
But it's
We
just
live
crashed
in
again now when I've been
again?
doing nothing, so I don't really know what causes. It doesn't happen on any other scene collection, only the inaudible one. I don't really know what's happened there.
Yeah. It crashed.
What I might
Yeah,
do,
it crashed last time as well, didn't it?
yeah. So what I might do is just I'll try moving instead of having a different scene for all the different backgrounds. I'll just put all the backgrounds on one scene, and just activate and deactivate ones when I need to, and put them on the default profile and see if that fixes it next time. Anyway, so what I was saying was monoglufru, monosaccharide, glucose, fructose, disumal, disaccharide, sucrose, was it disumal, maltose, and polysaccharide, starch, and cellulose. There we are. That's what I'm saying.
Zapdos and Articuno as well.
Yeah, and then
Maltose.
the interesting thing about maltose is that you might think there's only one of them because it's a legendary sugar, but actually
Oh.
you can get multiples.
Oh, okay. I guess they did remake Kanto so many fucking times.
Yeah.
Not really legendary anymore.
Arctis sucrose. I mean, Zapdos. It kind of works by itself, doesn't it? Pronounce it like an American.
Yeah. Tapu Zapdos. They should have like Tapu Fusion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I always think because the Tapus, when they like clunk their halves together, we're talking about Pokemon, by the way. They they look like heads, don't they? So it's like they're the top of a Zord, a Megazord.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a cool gimmick for next Pokemon generation. Is you can like Megazord your entire team
We
into
we spoke about fusion. We spoke about fusions before, didn't we? And it seems like that would be something that surely they're going to get to at some point.
Yeah. I don't know how I'd feel about that. That seems too gimmicky.
It kind of does, doesn't it? But at the same time, think of the possibilities.
Yeah. The only thing is, I don't think they'd.
Oh.
There's so many that like we've got over 1,000 Pokemon now. Do you think
That's a
they're
good
gonna
point.
do
Would it be like?
every Pokemon possibility with every other Pokemon?
Would it be
There'd
1,000
certain ones.
factorial? Trying to
Yeah, there'd
remember
be
my
certain ones
GCSE maths.
that confuse probably.
Yeah, it
I
would
think
probably,
the better idea would maybe be like a special move you can use once per battle that uses all your Pokemon to attack in one go, but
like
then
the
you're not
Zording,
allowed
yeah.
to. But then you're not allowed to swap out your Pokemon afterwards.
Yeah, that would be good.
So it combines all their stuff together, but maybe with a bit of diminishment, like it's not the exact same as having all their HPs combined. You lose out on a bit, but it would still be OP HP.
Yeah.
And then you obviously can't swap out to them because they're all already out. So
Yeah. Kind of like the Donzo and Tatsugiri.
a little bit,
They
yeah. I
combine
guess.
and you
I
can't
don't-
switch them out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They should bring out some different Tapus that are like, one's a torso, one's a leg. It's the pieces of Exodia.
Pretty much, yeah.
A clue came up on Only Connect the other day. There was like, the first clue was just a leg, and I immediately just shouted out, Exodia! It wasn't. It wasn't Exodia.
Oh,
I didn't even
that'd
know
be a
anything
bit
about
too-
Exodia, thanks to the Abridged series for that
yeah.
one. Did you have any biscuits from your Liskits?
No. I think everything I've mentioned.
Yeah, everything mentioned you mentioned.
Yeah, we
Hensioned?
didn't really have anything special to mention this time, did we?
Hmm.
I sort of started doing my list of TV, but then I noticed Alex said he won't be joining, so it's like, same as bothered.
Oh, actually, I need to do my 2022 list. I did all the other ones. Is
So
it-
I was going through the IMDb pages, and I got 3 pages in, and I still hadn't found anything to add to the list.
Jeez.
So it's a good sign for this year. What is
Yeah.
it, 2017, I think?
Let me just see what I've got in here. I've just opened up game, TV, and film. I'll do them all in one go. I haven't done 2021 for game either. I mean, we haven't spoken about them, have we? We'll wait till we finish
I
this one
haven't-
first.
no, that's what I haven't done. I can't remember where we left off with all the others. I was going to wait till we'd got to the end of TV.
Actually, I got 4 things and an honourable here, so there's been a few things out last year that I quite like, to be honest. So
Okay.
I'll,
I'm bound to have at least a game a year.
oh yeah, sorry, that was TV I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Games.
Oh, yeah, I haven't checked.
Oh no, I did do
Yeah.
it. So I was looking at the wrong tab.
Duh.
I've got nothing for 2020 at all. Literally nothing.
Okay. What, and you have looked into it?
Yeah,
Fuck.
21 and 22 are good. What about film?
Well, maybe look into a list of games or films or TVs, whatever it is, that was released in 2020, and watch a few
Yeah.
before we do it, so that you can add at least one.
It is 3 games I'd love to get into as well. Factorio, Crusader Kings 3, and Hades. I've got written here. Sorry, I've got some written here that I haven't played, but I know like Hades is by Supergiant Games. I loved their first game, Bastion. I haven't played any of their other ones.
I've
But yeah, Hades was big old popular, so should be good. I'll get around to it one day, maybe, possibly. Right, cool. Yeah, so we'll try and do our next TV of the year when we're all here. Oh, it's 2017. I've got things to say about that. My winner that year.
Oh, okay. See, I might find something yet, but I know I didn't notice anything as I was looking through the first couple of pages.
Yeah. Oh, 2017. My winner for 2017 is genuinely, I think, one of the best TV programs that's been made this century. It was just a masterpiece. Oh, we'll save that up
What
for
was
the discussion.
The Wheel of Time, was it that? Or?
Oh, the Wheel of fucking Time.
I don't know. You talk about so much shit, I get confused between the books and the TV shows.
It's very important. Wheel of Time books, masterpiece. Wheel of Time TV show, holy
I know-
shit, give me some bleach.
I know you said one or the other, and I couldn't remember which one was which.
So disappointing. Oh well. The problem is with Wheel of Time, the TV show, right? It's the sense of betrayal that I feel from the showrunner having gone on about, because he genuinely is a really big fan of the books. Like he's got his like moth-eared old copies of them and everything, and all this stuff
This is
he said
starting to
about.
feel oddly deja vu, like a show I really, really love. The new showrunner comes in claiming to be a really big fan, and then everything goes downhill.
Yeah. It's just
Does this sound familiar?
I don't understand how you can go on for months reassuring all the fans about how you're trying to keep, understanding that you have to change things because it's a TV show and you can't do it like word for word from the book, but then just changing random shit that you didn't need to because you seem to think that your screenwriters are better writers than the acclaimed writer of the acclaimed series. It's just. Indeed. Oh, in other news, I finally caught up to the end of the Cosmere series of books by Brandon Sanderson, and they're very, very good. So I'd always recommend them, the Mistborn series, the Stormlight Archive, and Elantris Warbreaker, all the others.
There we go, another one to the list of Christians recommended.
It's like it's one huge connected universe, but with several different series within it, and you don't need to read every series to follow the whole universe, but it is all connected,
Nice.
and there's this whole thing going on in the background that we're just gradually starting to learn more and more about. I love that kind of story where there's something in the background that you can't quite see, but it's there, and it's not just something that people mention because it sounds mysterious, for a line in the book. There's actually a plan of it all, and brilliant, great series.
No.
I hope to see that one adapted to a big TV show one day, hopefully adapted quite well.
I was gonna say, I hope to see it adapted. It could go either way though.
Yeah. I'm sure a Mistborn series would be brilliant. Because he's a more modern author as well, like he's still in the middle of it all. I feel like most authors now kind of write things as if they're imagining films in their heads. That's how it feels to me as an avid reader anyway. So, we'll see. Anyway, we should probably leave it there. Christian's book hour.
What, we leaving the book hour there? We leaving it there?
We'll leave the book hour there. Have we got, you don't have anything else?
I don't know. I've been looking through different tabs and things, thinking it's like, nope, can't think of anything here. Nope.
Oh, so I was just about to go into the "You can find us here, there, and everywhere" segment.
However,
I probably ought to mention that my video backlog, the next video I have to edit is from 2 days ago.
oh fuck.
I've caught up, done it.
Well, then we need to start doing more stuff then, I guess.
I've got no time, I've got to edit the things I'm recording.
Yeah. Oh. We need to do Digimon again at some point then, I guess.
We do, yeah. I'll have to...
Well, I've kind of given up on that for now.
The thing is, genuinely, I won't have time to edit them at the moment. So we need to find a time when we don't do 2 or 3 things during the week, and then do it then.
Fair. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bit weird. I recorded the next, Civ, I think it was, which is the next thing I've got to edit, the last thing. And I went to, because it automatically, OBS names it with the date and the time. And then I rename it with the name of the series and the episode number. And I've just, over literally the past 2 years, I've just been able to look at the previous one to see what the next number is. And I went to rename it on Wednesday, and I was like, oh, the previous one isn't there. I've already edited it and deleted it. It's a bit of a strange thing to experience.
Oh, well, no. Fair. You've caught up, I've slowed down.
I was kind of running out of space on that disc as well, which pushed me into action to a certain extent. Still am running out of space.
Yeah.
The problem is the EU4 and the EU4 videos I don't edit down, and the Pokemon videos, whilst I'm playing the main story of a new Pokemon game, I don't edit them down because it's like the full playthrough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've not got many gigabits left, or gigabytes, or gibby bytes for that matter.
or just bytes.
So I was thinking, because I kind of obsessively keep everything, but to be honest, I probably should just also delete the EU4 videos. I can keep the edited ones because they're only like 10-15 minutes. I can have hundreds and hundreds of them before the drive it gets anywhere near filling up.
Or you just have to get a new external to transfer stuff onto.
Yeah, well, I've got fucking, how many? I think 6 huge server grade hard disks and a case and a motherboard. I've just never quite got around to actually finishing the server because I wanted a huge file server. But even with that, I think if I'm playing EU4 regularly, I'm gonna fill that up at some point, aren't I? Just with all the EU4. And I think, do I really need to worry about backing it up? It's all on YouTube. If my account gets deleted, then, I mean, I haven't highlighted any of the stuff, so I don't know that I've lost anything anyway, so does it matter? Whereas the stuff I've condensed down into highlights are better videos, so if I do lose them, I'd rather have them backed up because I put the effort into them.
Yeah, true, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I do want to put another poll on my channel to ask if people would like to see edited down EU4 videos, and if I'm honest, I might just do that without asking. But we'll see. I'll think about it. But you can see those at current unedited EU4 videos over on Invisible Tower on YouTube. At Invisible Tower. You can see the edited stuff of everything else except this over on Christian444 on YouTube, at Christian444A. You can find this podcast on YouTube as well at Inaudible, which is at Inaudible Podcast. If you've got any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@invisibletower.net. Leave a comment on the YouTube video, whatever you want to do. Send a tweet. I've made a conscious decision to stop using Twitter, so maybe also leave a comment if you've tweeted.
Yeah.
I've joined Mastodon and co-host. I'm hedging my bets to see which one replaces Twitter.
Oh.
The links are all in the channel description on Twitch. Ozzy is over at TS Reactions. Sorry, before we get to that, just to point out, on Christian444, we're playing Civ 5, we're playing Stardew Valley, we're playing Pokemon Scarlet. It's pretty much all multiplayer on that channel. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Yeah. So, Ozzy, sorry, TS Reactions is what you want.
TS Reactions, yes. Uploads are slow at the moment, but they kind of fluctuate in terms of how much I upload anyway, so I may be in a groove at the moment, but within the next couple of months I'll probably have a bit more of a better upload.
Nice.
What normally happens.
Yeah.
Christmas is still lingering. I'm still a bit lazy.
Lingering around like the fart from a Brussels sprout.
Yeah.
What do Brussels sprouts' farts smell like? We'll never know.
I've never met a Brussels sprout, I'm afraid. I've ate sprout. I've never met.
I've only met people from Flanders.
Oh, okay. I've only met Flanders sprouts, not Brussels.
Yeah. Or I guess maybe I've only met Amsterdam sprouts.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, anyway, that's probably enough of that rubbish.
Okay, fine. Fuck you, Tim.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah.
I'm very slowly fading up the outro. I might be going too slow.
Too slow. Next time.
Oh, hang on, we're not quite there yet. Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. I need to make a note of what. Oh wait, no, we've gone past it. No, this is it now. Okay, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.